Welcome to Survivor NSFW, the unauthorized, the number one unauthorized Survivor podcast. You know what? When I used to listen, Jonny Fairplay, when you and Matt Kieran, you went through the whole thing with, fucking TMZ, and they were sending you these letters and shit, and you guys were really making sure you said unauthorized every time. And we really don't ever... Maybe it's because I'm the new guy and I just don't fucking care because I don't think it's a big deal at this point. I never say it, but we are unauthorized.
Well, we're on the Patreon, which I guess will possibly one day air for the free side of things. So, but no, I mean they wanted me to go out of my way to emphasize the unauthorized, and I think I have. I mean, it's all about branding, and so I don't think anyone at this point thinks this is an authorized podcast in any fucking way.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. So I think we're good. I think mission accomplished. So I try to throw it out there as often as possible. I mean, it just the flack that I get from other podcasters and other former podcasters I have an email from CBS that says, please use the word unauthorized when you promote your podcast. Thank you.
Yeah.
So that's it.
It's crazy. But dude, I am stoked. We had last Friday, we dropped part 1 of the Survivor Season 40 FTW, what we would cast for the winners. And it was fun. And I put that little commercial together over the weekend. It was a rainy day, and just kind of some of the highlights. And I didn't even go through the whole podcast because when I made the commercial, dude, you have to watch. I was watching and listening. I'm like, God, this sucks having to watch this fucking hour and 10 minutes.
I would imagine it didn't take you long to grab those clips.
Oh yeah, so I got
literally seconds. Is like that works. That works. Oh, I'm at a minute. Great.
Yeah, and I was like, oh damn. I wanted to count how many times you said fuck in the when you were talking about Sandra and Lil.
I know. And I feel bad, but I did preface it with the fact that she is a friend, and
dude.
and it's not just Sandra with the pregame alliances, and for those that are new to this and new to the Patreon and haven't heard the stories for other stuff. All right, when I did fans versus favorites, I flew to Los Angeles. You know what? I don't even think I made a special trip. All right, so because I remember thinking about this has been a long week, and we didn't change shirts and film them back to back. This has been a week.
Yes.
Okay, so when they flew me out for fans versus favorites for the final casting deal. So we go out, we have to, redo our psych test and all that stuff and do our physicals and stuff. So I fly out there and I'm in the hotel and I was like, do I really need to spend the night? I'm like, my manager lives here in Los Angeles. Like I'll be on the plane to go back home tomorrow. Just, do you really need somebody? Do you really need to pay somebody to stand guard to make sure I stay in my fucking? Just let me go.
Right. Yeah.
And they're just like, all right, fair play. You've never let us down in the past. And amazingly, I mean, like as much as of a mess as I was, I didn't.
Right.
I made my gigs.
Yeah.
And so. My manager picked me up and he took me to it was a sushi place right near Crunch on Sunset, and I met with Jonathan Penner.
Yeah.
And we worked out our pregame alliance. We had Yao Man on speakerphone, and we kind of solidified our pregame alliance. And and I'd already talked to Eliza and stuff. So I felt pretty comfortable going into fans versus favorites. Well, I thought meeting face to face was more than enough to kind of get a read on somebody.
Yeah.
I go out there to film fans versus favorites, And Yao Man, who is outside the game one of the coolest dudes you'll ever meet. He's a pervert. He's fun. I mean, he's great.
Yeah.
I mean, he's Yao Man.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm talking to Yao Man day one, and I'm just like, hey, I'm just chit chat, just two friends, bullshit, non-strategy, just fucking being dudes, and
Yeah.
he's just like, this is not a vacation. This is work. I came here to work. I didn't come here to chit chat and be your friend.
Nah.
And I was just like, this might be the worst fucking alliance in the history of alliance. So I'm already like checked out of that shit. I'm just like, well, that sucked.
Right.
So then I go in the woods to secretly talk with Pinner, and Pinner goes, here's how it fucking goes. I call the shots, you fucking listen and fall in line.
Wow.
And I'm just like, okay, I stand corrected. This is the worst fucking alliance in the history of Survivor.
Yeah.
So, so as much as I hate pregame alliances and stuff like that, a lot of them don't work out anyways. So, I just want to get that, do I hate that it happens? Do I hate that we start the book at chapter 3? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So, but there's a huge difference between living with someone and, I mean, like it's go back to like college or post college, and you and your best friend you decide to become roommates and get a place together, and you learn real quick it's just like, this motherfucker farts all the time.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Like, does he shit himself on the regular? Because he does. And the motherfucker doesn't wash dishes.
Yeah, dude. That's hilarious.
So yeah, so I just wanted to paint that picture, and let people know that, like, that I, heaven forbid that that I'm sitting at the top of my castle here going, hey, this is the way it is. When I did do the other, but conversely, like when you're just like, if you got the call, wouldn't you call people? No, because like, number one, what's the fuck, like, I don't know. Until I'm living with someone, I don't like Philip Shepard. Outside the game, I'm sure is fine. Inside the game, fuck that.
Right. Yeah.
So when I'm wasting my time, like every minute I have prior to Survivor going back out there, I just want to fucking be with my family and be with my friends and not think about Survivor.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, I think there's a lot of people that do make pregame alliances, but I want to get right into speaking about some of these winners. I know you have a new FTW Fuck the Winners t-shirt coming out on JonnyFairplay.com.
It's out. If you go there, it's available in black and lime green. I'll be getting the lime green.
Of course you will. You couldn't pay me to wear it. Well, I probably wouldn't wear a lime green shirt, but
but the black's pretty cool.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I thought the black might be in your wheelhouse. Maybe Lex Vandenberg might be seeking that one out. I don't think Wendell's down for that one. I don't know.
Yeah. That's hilarious, dude. That's hilarious. We'll have to make another one that says "fuck the whiners." Just
pictures of Jonny Fairplay.
Yes, yeah, that's right. So last week we did the first 5 men and the first 5 women. So we're going to get into the last half of the men, last half of the women, and we're going to go male, female. And so I'm going to start off with male number 6. This is a guy that we thought War Dog might have been playing his game like based on his pregame interviews. This guy was the king of the Spy Shack. I actually really liked this dude's first season, the season that he won. Survivor Caramoan, Tony Vlahos is my number 6 pick. I thought he was brilliant game player. I thought he was entertaining as all hell, and to me, he was a fun winner.
Yeah. My number 6 pick, I also have Tony Vlahos.
Wow.
So
right.
And I consider him one of the most entertaining winners in the history of Survivor.
He was
easily
great. He was great.
Yeah, I didn't. Cagayan starts. I'm not a huge fan.
Mm-hmm.
So, but the more, I mean, he's polarizing. Like it's that if there was ever a word to describe him, I think polarizing is it. And then fast forward to Game Changers, and I'm just like, this guy is playing 8 games. Like, I mean, I think he blew his load like immediately.
Yeah, yeah.
But it was so fun to watch. I mean, he's easily. I mean, I'm looking at my list. I don't think there's a more entertaining winner in the history of the show.
He's a great winner. I love him, and he kind of I don't know. I've never met Tony in person.
I spoke to him on the phone one time, very brief conversation. I think he was in Philadelphia with Coach, perhaps, and they called me up, and super nice guy.
Yeah.
I mean, once again, I wouldn't make a pregame alliance with him because there's no telling what that guy's like, on the island. I mean,
Right.
you see the check stuff, that's not. I don't like. I mean, Sandra did the hiding in the bushes and all that stuff. I just be better at social gameplay.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I think Tony was, but I think that's just one of the many elements of his game that just makes him. If he has people to work with and people that want to work with him, more importantly, I mean, he's one of the most dangerous players to be out there.
Yeah, yeah. So we're in agreement. Tony Vlahos.
And I have him ranked in my power rankings. I have him number 3 in my casting list. So number 1, I have Richard Hatch. Number 2, I have Boston Rob. And number 3, I think they would consider Tony as their third favorite.
Oh, cool. Right on. Yeah. I think if you have an all-winner season and you don't have Tony Vlahos on it, then CBS is a bunch of dumbasses, which we already know they kind of are. But
hey, I think they're great people.
Well,
fine folks over there.
Oh shit! So we agree. Jonny, Fairplay, and I. Bam! We started out part 1 with Richard Hatch, and we're starting off part 2 with Tony Vlahos. So we're moving.
Just imagine Tony Vlahos and Richard Hatch working together.
I know, dude.
I don't know.
The scenarios are never ending. So this is number 6 woman. You actually had this person as one of your picks on part 1 of the Survivor season 40.
Yeah. So anyone listening now that's just like, whoa, how are you on pick? That means you missed part 1. So go back and listen to part 1. Don't listen any further unless you've listened to part 1.
So this is part 2. So this person really, a lot of people underestimate this chick, thinks that she wasn't that great of a winner. She's more of a silent, laid-back kind of player. I think this player is very smart. And South Pacific winner Sophie Clark is my number 6 woman pick. And Jonny, like I said, if you listen to part 1, I didn't want to tell you when we were doing part 1 that, oh wow, I picked her too. But Sophie Clark is my number 6 pick. And like I said, going through the list of women, it was
tough.
Very difficult to pick.
Very difficult.
Especially if I want to see different types of players and strategic players, obviously. And but yeah, Sophie, I like Sophie. I've only watched her season. I've only pretty much watched everyone's season one time, with the exception of the Castaway watch-alongs we're doing. And when I had the flu, I watched Tokenshins the whole season, and then Heroes Villains, and I think I stopped. You said you'll never finish it. Now that you're done with the flu, you're not going to finish it. And you were right. I haven't gone back and fucking watched the last part of it. I will, though. I want to. But,
sure.
Yeah, Sophie Clark.
Yeah, so Sophie Clark I had last week. She was my 5th pick in my power rankings. She was number 9 at and I'll get to why she wasn't number 10 a little bit later. My 6th pick for the women, one of the most dominant female players ever. She's beautiful. She's smart. She played one of the best games ever in the history of Survivor, male or female. Just the worst season, though, possibly in the history of Survivor. And that's Oneworld winner Kym Spradlin.
Oh, Kym Spradlin, badass. The season, The only thing besides Kym Spradlin that I remember
Troyzan.
Yeah, Troyzan
Yep.
and Tarzan and Tarzan's wife at the family the loved one visit. That touched me. So that's you got just,
and Kat was crazy, but it was just so
Kat was crazy. And that was Colton Cumby's season too, right? And Leif Garrett or whatever.
No, not Leif Garrett. Leif Garrett is the pop singer.
Or Leif Mason.
Leif, the little person.
Yes, Leif.
Kym Spradlin last week ordered my women's favorites T-shirt from JonnyFairplay.com. Yeah.
Wow, that's sweet.
And I called her, and she didn't pick up. And I left a message, and she texted me right back, and she said, "Thank you, but the phone call's not necessary." But I don't know if she got the call or not. I mean, I think for the women, it's safe to assume that, other than I might be off by one or two, you might be off by one or two. I mean, but if you look at the list, guys versus girls, it's 2/3 male, 1/3 female. Mm-hmm. So pretty much, most of this list is going to be there. So right. I think Kym, A, being beautiful, B, being smart, C, being one of the most dominant players to ever play and win, is an easy pick. I think she ordered that shirt because she wanted to wear it in front of the other people that are going to be out there.
Oh, that's awesome, dude. Hell yeah.
Because it's Sandra, Parvati, Kym, and Sari.
Would they allow her to wear that shirt out there? Because they pick the wardrobe.
I don't think they would let her wear it, but I'm sure she's going to wear it on the plane or either leaving, she will wear it in front of the other survivors at some point.
Right. Yes. Which would be sweet. I hope I get a picture online somewhere with her in the shirt. Kym Spradlin, I'm all for seeing Kym play again in this all winners season. So
all right, so in my power rankings, I have number 1 Sandra Diaz-Twine, number 2 Tina Wesson, number 3 Vesepia, number 4 Parvati, number 5 we'll get to, number 6 is Kym Spradlin.
Cool. Yep, number 6 girl. So we're going back to the males. Number 7. This guy is one of my favorite survivors. I don't know if you've ever hung out with this dude, but super, super cool. I actually sat around at my old house before I moved here. This dude, along with a bunch of other survivors, were in my backyard, and we were all around this fire, and it was so cool because this winner had just gotten off his season as the winner, and we were having some adult beverages, and it was so cool. So we started almost strategizing and talking game talk in a fictitious way while the other survivors were around the fire. And it was almost like I was able to play the game for us for a little fantasy moment with this player. Super fucking cool. Mike Holloway, season 30, Worlds Apart. So it's Mike Holloway, Sierra, Tyler Fredrickson, and Joel Klug and Mitchell. They were all in my backyard, and so Mitchell were around the fire. It's Mitchell and Tyler and Sierra and me and Mike and people. And I was just, and I think Mike I think he kind of instigated. He's like, dude, imagine we're on Survivor right now, dude. He's like, I want to be in an alliance with you. And I'm like, dude, hell yeah. He's like, who are we going to vote off? And we're just sitting there talking about the player. Dude, it was fucking cool. I loved it. So Mike Holloway, super cool guy, and I remember, dude, Lex Vandenberg and Big Tom. That's the first year or one of the years when Tyler and everyone was there, and we all hung out, Mike Holloway and Tyler, in a hotel room with Big Tom and Lex, and talked and drank beer till wee hours of the morning, and it was fucking awesome. So Mike Holloway, my number 7 male. On the men's side.
Mike Holloway, not on my list.
Yeah, right.
Not even an alternate, because I got Fabio as my alternate.
Yeah.
I mean, God bless a drug test, but Fabio is going to be at the May 1st show in Santa Monica, and he really wants to make amends. Like he's not very happy with his last appearance on the podcast. I thought it was amazing. Like I thought it was riveting. I like that's what I try to bring out. Like when we're sitting there thinking about what guests do we want in the off season. Yeah, it's cool to get some of the people from the previous season, but it's also cool to get some people that that don't normally do these things, and there, for most of these people, there's 100 Survivor interviews out there. Like there's other shit that composes their lives.
Yes.
And let's peel the onion.
Yeah. Right.
So.
Well, I mean, I remember prior to me being on the podcast with you, listening to the Fabio one and just being like, what the fuck, dude? Like, this is insane. And you're just feeding the fire and wanting, and I don't think Matt Coon, I think I remember you telling me like Matt Coon didn't like that interview, or did he? Or do you remember?
I don't think he liked that one. He doesn't like Randy.
Okay, cool. I can see how Randy would. I didn't like Randy at first, especially with a little history behind that.
Randy's a slow build.
But I think Randy's brilliant and
yeah. No, I think you have to fasten your seatbelt for the ride. I mean, he's not going to give you, like, if you're expecting a quick payoff, then I got. There's once again 100 different interviews I can play for you, but if you want that slow burn and you want the punchline at the end where the build's there,
right.
then that's what Randy's going to give you. So that's to each his own. I mean, that, like, if every podcast were the same, then why would
anyone listen to the other podcast? So Mike Holloway is not on your list.
No.
Who is your number 7 male?
Number 7 male winner, Survivor Second Chance. Jeremy Collins.
Jeremy Collins, super awesome guy. I've never met him in person, but his first season with his wife Val, they were one of my favorites going into it, like watching the, pregame interviews and whatnot.
And we had the John Rocker confrontation.
The what?
The John Rocker confrontation.
Oh, yeah. Yep. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Hell
so
yeah.
You don't think they were going for a ratings grab casting John Rocker, do you?
Yep. But I tell you what, he's an all-American dude, man. Family guy, loves his wife, great dad, firefighter.
Fireman.
Yeah. I mean,
come on. Got as the kids. I mean, he's a Patriots fan, which I would use against you, but there's a lot of Americans that are bandwagon people. They're just like, hey, I'm a so I get it. So no, so in my power rankings, if I'm casting, he's my 4th pick overall.
Oh, right on.
I mean, I just, he just crosses so many check marks and so many demos. So, and good looking guy. That's important.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So I think you have to be a good looking guy to be a fireman, I think.
Well,
to be in the count,
as we saw on the shout out video for our 100th podcast, when we have just the videos of the testimonials of survivors, and we got Hot Cop Dan looking all hot in his glasses and stuff.
It was so great. He had done it like World Star hip hop style with his phone up and down, and he was like, "Am I the only one that did it like that?" And I'm just like, and I think at the time he was. Yeah. And he was like, "I'm redoing it. You're gonna make fun of me."
Yeah, oh, dude.
So he makes another one. He goes, "I'm making fun of myself."
Yeah, I love. He's a good guy. He's a good sport. But yeah, that's Jeremy Collins, badass dude.
And a real threat. I mean, like, think about pregame alliances. They do that Running Up Reno tournament every year, and Rob does his podcast there, and there's a select few that meet to do that, and those guys are Tyson, Jeremy, and Boston Rob.
Mm-hmm.
They meet they meet every year to do that tournament.
Yeah.
So keep those guys in mind as far as an alliance,
Yeah.
and and we'll get to some possible other people in that possible alliance.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, Jeremy, I think he's a given. On that, I'm liking that, dude. So this was gonna be funny. So moving on to the women, number 7 pick for the women. It's Kym Spradlin, Oneworld. You
Sure.
mentioned her for your number 6 pick. She is my number 7 pick for the same reasons as we discussed. I think that bad season, but she's a good winner for that season, and I would like to see her battle it out with some of the other strong females that have been winners. It would be, although I'm trying to be optimistic. I mean, I don't think winners is nearly as good as concept as a lot of other ones, but if this does happen, since we're going down the list of these people, I think it could be interesting. Now the stakes are different because everyone's millionaires. However,
I would imagine they're playing for $2 million.
yeah, they probably are. So, but yeah, Kym Spradlin Oneworld is my pick, number 7.
Sure. My number 7 is winner of Survivor Philippines, Denise Tapley. So my overall power rankings, she's also number 7. She provides that older demo. She's strong as all. I mean, like if you had to pick one woman on the planet to not arm wrestle against, I think it'd be Denise Tapley.
She's a beast. I've hung out with her before,
Yeah.
and she's very short. Her husband's super cool. She's a sex doctor or sex therapist or whatever, and yeah.
Hey, my good friend, Sex Doctor Mike, he's also a sex doctor.
He is, dude.
And he did send us a video.
Oh, yes. Yes, he did.
We will be hanging out with Sex Doctor Mike at the Hearts of Reality. He's very excited. So he asked if him and Joe could reunite the Coconuts and join us on the podcast.
Oh,
and
cool.
I said absolutely not. Well, because we want people to listen.
Yeah.
So there's that.
Right.
But Denise, not a sexy name, in the history of Survivor. Not, she's not. As I said, the female list. If you're alive and and you don't have 4 kids or have been sober for less than 2 years. I mean, it's like, if you're a female winner, you're on this show pretty much.
Yeah.
So there's not too much surprise going forward with the ladies, but anyway. So, but I will say this: she's Zane Knight was MIA for a little bit. He had some personal stuff he was dealing with, and as a result, Denise reached out to me. It never met me, nothing. And she was just like, "Hey, you're in Damo. Can you track him down for me?" Mm-hmm. She was like, I'm really concerned and I've exhausted all other efforts. Will you please, and I did, and I found him and reunite and got it was basically one of the first steps of getting Zane back on the grid of human existence.
Right. So, does he live in your town? Is that where he's from?
Yeah. Wow. Yeah.
Crazy.
I could have Zane here. I'm not gonna tell him where I live.
Right. But... right, but he lives in your town just like Roger Bingham and Sash Linehan and Marcus Lehman and Angela Perkins live in my town.
Sure.
It's kind of crazy, dude. There's there's a lot of survivors that live near me. So that was number 7 for you, correct?
Yes.
So moving on to the man, number 8, Jeremy Collins. For me, so we are.
No way. I disagree.
We're just a little bit off on our on our order, but yes, Jeremy Collins. Like I said, I loved him and his wife on Blood versus Water, and seeing him play on his own obviously paid off because so he obviously won, and no need to really go into duplicating what we said because I was in complete agreement of
Sure.
all your statements. So Jeremy Collins, my number 8 pick. So,
All right.
man.
My number 8 pick, I'm going to give you a little bit of information about this guy, and you're going to be shocked because
Yeah.
I don't think it was out there anywhere.
Yeah.
It's kind of a secret. I don't know. He should have mentioned it at least in a confessional or two or all of them. He served our nation's military. What? You didn't know, did you?
Oh, dude.
Yeah. His name is Ben.
Yeah.
He served our military.
Yeah.
He if he had mentioned it in a confessional, I missed it. Or apparently I missed all of his confessionals because he said it every fucking time. Ben also sucks the CBS dick as much as one man could. I met Ben last summer.
Did you really?
Yes.
How
He
was
was at
he?
Hearts Reality. He's a big boy, very big boy, and a super nice guy.
Yeah,
Honestly,
cool.
like beyond nice. And he's a lot young, like because the beard and stuff makes him look older.
Yeah.
He's young. He's a
Is
young
he really?
dude.
Wow.
And cool. I like him. I like him a lot. I asked him to do the podcast, and he was like, I don't think I have to check with CBS. And I'm just like, for what?
Yeah.
Like the season's over. You've won.
Yeah.
That's it. He goes, no, I have to keep checking with them. And I'm just like, this dude's riding that dick.
He's following the rules is what he's doing. And
What? Well,
I
because
don't know.
they're just like, hey, we're gonna do a winners, and and shut up and don't talk about how we placed idols underneath your pillow for you,
Yeah.
and we'll bring you back again.
Apparently, all I know is when I watched, I remember
Finale. What finale's worse, yours or that?
Well, I don't know. That's a hard question, but I remember like my kids enjoying, and that season, Christy. Or Chrissy. Is that what her name was? Chrissy, or Christy, whatever the chick.
She's a little fake.
I was not a fan of hers at all. So the fact when Ben won, I was glad that Ben won. Right? Do I think he goes down as one of the greatest Survivor players or winners in Survivor history? Not at all. He is not on my list, but I like Ben based off of just, personal deals.
They like him. They like, as I said, he served our nation's military.
Right.
Which he will, I would imagine, will continue to mention in every confessional he does out there.
Right.
So in my power rankings, based on how I think they see him, he's number 5 overall.
Okay. Well, he's not on my list. I'm sure he'll probably be on the list. And they gave him,
think about that reunion. It was let's bring out Ben's drinking buddies from his platoon. Like, what the fuck was that?
I don't know.
That was the worst thing in the history of Survivor, right?
That was bad. That was bad. Yep.
If I don't that and you
Well, we're gonna get to my finale with like different. Yeah, it was bad. I don't think anything could have been as bad as the Caramoan one, but that comes in a close second. So, Ben. I don't even know how to spell his, or say his last name. Dregerbring or something, or Dreg. I don't know. But Ben, he's got a beard. He's good in my book. So that was your number 8.
Yeah.
So now we're on to number.
And he has a tattoo that they blurred all the time.
What was it?
I think it was like a naked girl or something, or no, it was a John Deere logo maybe.
Oh, that's what it was. I think so. It was like copyright deal.
Yeah.
So, my number 8 pick for the women, the season prior to mine, season 25, winner of Survivor Philippines, Denise Tapley.
Not on my list.
Denise. and Denise, at the beginning, her and Malcolm, man, they, she was the underdog, like going from, losing after, losing. And so just the luck of the draw to get past all those tribals where you had to
She went to every tribal, didn't she?
Damn near.
No, I think she's the only person in the history of Survivor to go to every single tribal for their season.
That's a not so fun.
Did she even get a vote?
Record.
I don't even think she got a vote against her. I think she went to every tribal and didn't get a vote. I could be making up all this. It doesn't. I'm not seeing
Well,
this.
if you want those stats, this is not the podcast for that, and you can Google search the shit.
But if you want us to make up shit, we will.
Yeah, and, right.
It's good. I think I said it convincingly enough. Yeah. I think both those things are true.
Yep. That's right. So that's
tell your friends. I mean, like, even if your friends like no, because so and so, just be like, hey, shut up, nerd.
Right.
Right.
That's right.
There you go. You win.
Oh, dude, Denise. So who is your number 8 female pick?
Winner, Survivor San Juan del Sur, which I think is possibly the worst name of any Survivor.
Yeah,
ever.
I don't like that name.
I hate it.
Yeah.
So like Token Chins took me forever to learn how to pronounce. Karong took me forever to learn how to pronounce.
Yeah.
Cagayan forever, but like San Juan del Sur, not that difficult, but it's just like too wordy. Like shut the fuck. Like like I would have been like. Del Sur, Survivor Del Sur, I could have lived with that.
Right.
It was just too much. Natalie Anderson, I have her number 5 on my female power rankings as far as what they're looking for. I mean, she's the ethnic background that they're looking to bring. She was from Amazing Race, bringing in extra viewers there. She has the twin sister. It's a fun story. I didn't care for that season. Like, I'm not a bit like who's the couple? The John and
they're always going to like vineyards and stuff on their Instagram.
Yeah. Oh my God, I did.
John Mish and the blonde chick who looks perfect in every photo.
Sure. Fuck them, right?
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, but am I right on the fuck them?
I mean,
they're Michigan State. I mean, like, my girlfriend, she's a Michigan State alum, so I'll give them credit there. But I mean, just the perfect, every fucking picture is like.
Oh yeah, it is.
It's like,
Napa with our wine, and she's like flawless, touching up whatever. And but you know what? The one thing I know that they really wanted to do, and I don't know if she, they were trying to have a baby, and she was not able to. I
heard they steal babies. Is that not true? I think it was online.
So I don't know if
they go around stealing babies and they eat them.
Oh shit!
I might be wrong. Listen. This no one said that this is the most honest podcast. Yeah, it's the most unauthorized.
Yeah.
Possibly the most dishonest.
Yeah, man. Hell yeah.
But I don't think we should advertise the second.
No.
I don't think that's not going to help.
No,
Patreon numbers.
That's not going to help.
It's horrible.
That's not going to help.
Yes.
Well, I'm actually excited on the last going down the home stretch.
Yeah.
If they're doing 10 men, 10 women, right?
Yeah.
Which you never know what they couldn't do anymore.
Yeah. I would be happier with 8 and 8 because we'd get more character development. We get and some of these less deserving.
Yes, when we're
females,
would be off the table, and they might be an alternate or something. So
go back and watch Survivor Pro Island, 16 people. One of the greatest seasons of all time because the character development is there.
Yep. Oh yeah. Yep. You're right. So men, number 9. This dude is badass. This dude, also not the best season. And
Adam Klein is not a badass.
Adam, I liked watching Adam. I liked his story of his mom and stuff, but he is not on my list.
He's not.
This dude's just a cool cat, and I liked watching him and Dominic Abate just kind of dominate. I mean,
Jonathan didn't win.
Huh? Jonathan?
Why is Jonathan on your list? You know what? All right, so peek behind the curtain. It is Monday night at 10:13 p.m. is when we're recording this.
Yes.
I am waking up at 5:30 a.m. I will be leaving my house shortly after 6, and I will be picking up Jonathan in a Walmart parking lot 5 hours after I leave my house.
So you're leaving tomorrow, Tuesday, and Survivor's not till Wednesday. So you're going to hang out in Nashville Tuesday night?
No, I'm picking up Jonathan, and we're going to Clarksville
Yeah.
to Gretchen's, and
Okay.
she's taking us out to dinner, and then we're crashing there, and then we're waking up early Wednesday. I'm doing radio in Clarksville, and then I have to do interviews in Nashville. I have a radio in Nashville after that, and then I'm going to Third Man Records and Antique Archaeology.
Cool. That's sweet.
Uh, yeah.
Hell yeah. So Wendell Holland is my number 9 pick.
Oh, you know what? Wendell did win,
Ghost
so that would make
Island.
a lot more sense than Donathan.
Yes. Yes.
You know what? I asked Donathan if he was going to wear his cutoff jean shorts so we could match.
Yeah.
And he said he didn't own cutoff jean shorts.
Really?
Yeah, and if even if he did not want to match me.
Oh, that's funny, man. Nope. I like Wendell's a cool dude, man.
Yeah.
And I would like to see Wendell play. Wendell's a nice guy. You know, he's one of those winners that's just an overall nice, genuine dude. I know you had Wendell in Baltimore not too long ago. He is really.
Did you hear him on the podcast?
No, it's kind of unlistenable. 99th episode, but
Yeah.
and I love him and Bryce. And those dudes hang out quite a bit. I know they get together to watch Survivor. And Wendell's just a big, Survivor's a big part of what he does now, and he goes to a lot of events. And,
I'm anxious to see his evolution. I mean, he was a nice guy. He was reserved.
Yeah.
I felt on his first season,
right.
and I think becoming a millionaire kind of opens up your
right.
your inhibitions
Yes.
and other things. So I'm excited to see how he goes in. Some people coming back I know when I did fans versus favorites, you have the fans looking at the favorites going, "Woo, wow, this guy is there are these people are Survivor royalty," and then there's a hierarchy. I know when I went back for fans versus favorites, the other the first thing I did is I didn't talk to anybody. I had my headphones on the entire time, and everybody was kind of sitting together in a group. And this was right after the Bonaducci thing, and I'm sitting off by myself, and I think it was like Us Weekly or Star. I don't know. It was probably like 4 different magazines at the time. Because I just had them. I'm on the cover.
Yeah.
And I just I'm holding the magazine up. Just looking and peek over the magazine, and they're just like like eyes all big, and I just go, yeah. And they're just like one of these things is not like the other. Like this guy, this guy's dick is bigger.
Yeah. So, right. Yeah.
And so I'm curious. I think Wendell is hung around enough, but does Wendell see a Boston Rob and be like, "Damn, like this is the fucking man," or is he like, "Fuck that dude"?
Wendell is a super fan of
yeah,
even when I met Wendell and some other survivors. He's like, oh, even after he just won, he's like, oh my God, I'm talking to Matt from Caramoan and this person from this, he's a fan. So he was excited, kind of like Nick Wilson, man, last year when he came to the events before he even played his game. Yeah. So, it'll be interesting if Wendell's on there. So, yeah, I would like to see a more cutthroat game from Wendell, but I think he would just be a chill, cool, social game player. And, I think that's kind of how he'd play. But Wendell Holland, Ghost Island winner, my number 9 pick.
Ooh, let me say, peek behind the curtain. So last week's episode came out, right?
Of what? Survivor NSFW?
Survivor NSFW, the Fuck the Winners episode.
Yes.
Part 1, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I get a phone call from a winner.
After listening?
Yeah.
Really? Were they pissed?
They were asking for strategy advice.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah.
Did they listen to our pod or something? Or
no, they saw the deal, the 1 minute preview thing, and so that they asked for a link.
Yeah.
And I was just like, there's nothing you want to hear.
Yeah.
I'm just like, there's nothing beneficial.
Yeah,
I
right.
don't think. I mean, like it's like I think I say kind of mean things about everybody.
Yeah.
Probably.
Right.
There's some nice stuff sprinkled in, but it is what it is. So, so we chatted strategy for a little bit, and I would imagine this person's going.
Yeah.
if
Yeah.
they,
Right.
They took the time to call me and say, "Hey,
Yeah.
what do you think?" And
Yeah.
I was like, "I think this."
Yeah.
And
right.
they're like, "Hey, what do you think about this person?" And I was like,
Yeah.
So very, it was pretty, like I was not expect like so, and it's not someone in my normal circles.
Yeah.
At
Wow.
all.
Yeah.
So it was out of the, like, so if anyone's sitting there going, well, he was with Wendell no, it's not like, it is not someone that I communicate with. I don't think I've ever even talked to this person on the phone prior
Yeah.
to
Wow.
to
That's
last
pretty
week.
cool. See, I'm learning
Yeah.
something new. I didn't
Yeah.
fucking know this.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Asshole.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
Dude. So so Wendell Holland, I'm assuming Wendell Holland is going to be your number 9.
Yeah. I got Wendell number 9.
What does he rank for as far as a winner goes?
Power rankings, I gave him number 6.
Cool.
So that's up there. I mean, like he's his season sucked. Gimmicks for the sake of gimmicks. They've even abandoned the fucking gimmick that they had. That there might have been something to like that. That was the worst part of Ghost Island. I mean, because I think there were some really good characters.
Yep.
But just that forced Ghost Island thing that, I mean, they just all but just fucking gave up on.
Yeah, I know.
So and Wendell played a very reserved game. I mean, like, that you go back to part 1 in Corinne's statement. It's the people that typically win aren't your most grandiose characters.
Mm-hmm.
So, and Wendell's not either. So is he easily one of the greatest ambassadors to ever play the game? Yes, without a shot. Like I have him and Ethan Zahn, 1 and 2, and I'm not putting one above the other.
Right.
I think 2 of the greatest ambassadors ever to play Survivor.
Right.
So, and win.
Yeah.
So, but as far as Mr. Excitement, neither one of them.
You just tell it like it is. I think Dominic Abate, honestly, he played the more cutthroat. I mean, it was Dom and Wendell show,
Yeah.
But I'm glad. I'm cool with Wendell winning, but I was kind of at the time like, dude, Dominic, like I'm feeling his vibe. You know what I mean?
I was not. I was Team Wendell.
Yeah.
I mean, so I mean, me and Wendell are we were boys, like, from the very beginning.
Oh, dude, Wendell's awesome. And Wendell, we're both in agreement. So we're gonna move on to number 9, women. This person they started off the game with hardly any airtime. This person is kind of like been involved in interviews, I think maybe even on Survivor NSFW and other podcasts for that matter. Just her unappreciative, win. I don't think Jeff Probst likes this person. I think this person is super cool. I think she is beautiful. I think she is kind. And she played the game that she wanted to play, and that was just
I'm a boy, Matt. Please stop referring to me as she. But I do appreciate the beautiful.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome.
All right.
But Michelle Fitzgerald is Survivor Caramoan is my number 9 winner pick for women, and I don't know if she'll be on the list, but if she's not, I mean, she's got a lot of cool stuff happening in her life that. But I don't think Jeff Probst. Did I hear that correctly? He doesn't like her very much, does he?
No, I don't think so. So she's number 9 on my list too. In my power rankings of female, of how CBS and Survivor looks at her, in casting, she's number 10. I mean, like, they don't like her. Mm-hmm. So, but it's like Danny Boatwright syndrome.
Mm-hmm.
So they both played very similar games, both got very minimal airtime, and it was a case of they're not telling production their game, so production can't fuck up their game.
Right.
I get it. I mean, like, and she did say, like, I was at the Reality for Diabetes in Cincinnati last year, and we did the diabetes walk, and then afterwards we had an hour at Kings Island before they opened up to ride any of the rides that we wanted. So it was myself, my girlfriend, Piper, and Michelle.
Mm-hmm.
And so we rode rides, and then we had lunch together, and you know, it's just like, what was the deal? Like, you know, what? Explain to me your win, and you know, and it was as simple as, for her, she was just like, I didn't go to make a TV show. She goes, you did, and you made an amazing television show, one of the greatest television shows I've ever seen.
Yeah.
She was like, I went to win $1 million.
Yeah.
She goes, if you bring me back, I'll give you a TV show. I'm fucking hilarious.
Yeah, right, yeah.
Like, you know, it's just like, 'cause I'm like, look, you know, you're beautiful, you're fun, you're you know, you're entertaining as a person.
Yeah.
So, but that her end game was not to make a television show, and props to her.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So I mean, like, there's no rule that says you have to be fucking entertaining.
Well, here's the thing. So we have talked about this, Jonny, and I want to bring this up real quick. So you and I have discussed, and I think I might have said, dude, if I would rather have the title and honor of Soul Survivor. I mean, the $1 million is fucking awesome. I mean, unbelievable. But the title, and you're like, fuck no, I don't care about the title. I want the $1 million, right?
Yeah.
With that being said, you go out, let's say on 42 Legends or whatever, just playing again in general.
Sure. 42 Legends.
Are you?
I mean, if you say it enough, it happens, Matt. I mean,
but are you on season 42 Legends? Are you going to go out to make a TV show and be Jonny Fairplay, the memorable television character, or are you going to play the Michelle Fitzgerald game and go out there to win $1 million? Because you straight up told me, dude, I got kids and. You know, I'm there for the $1 million. Well, can you do both?
I feel like I have the ability to do both.
Okay,
of
course you do.
Yeah, I do.
I
mean,
but you would not. You're going to be Jonny Fairplay. You're going to get in scuffles with people, dude.
Yes.
I don't care if you go into the game saying, "I'm going to be chill."
No. You can't camouflage yourself. If you attempt to, it doesn't work.
No, it doesn't.
So no, I'm gonna go in. The first time I went, my number one goal was to create that character of Jonny Fairplay, keep him on, have creative control over that character, keep him on television for as long as possible.
Right.
And then fourth was to win the $1 million.
Yeah.
Number 4 is moving up to number 1.
Right.
And then the others, but I mean, like this right here, this isn't me putting on an act.
No, fuck
going,
no.
Hey, we're doing a podcast. I gotta be crazy.
No, and the thing is, people, trust me, I talk to this motherfucker all the time. It's who Jonny is,
24/7,
and that's the way it is.
Like I'm running on fumes right now.
Yeah.
I mean, there is nothing left in this vessel.
Yeah.
So and like all I'm doing, I'm just like, let's get to fucking number 10. I'm going to sleep so I can wake up at 5:38. I'm gonna be on the road 11 fucking hours. Like, it's an 8-hour drive to Clarksville, Tennessee, from where I live.
Yeah.
I'm adding 4 hours to pick up Donathan.
Basically, Jonny is one of two things. Johnny's either the dumbest person I've ever met in my fucking life to do something like this, or B, he's dedicated as fuck for his passion of Survivor and all that kind of shit and making
I want to give the most entertaining show.
No, and I give mad props, and I have the highest respect for that. So
Donathan, I'm just like, okay, I leave at 6 o'clock. I pick up Donathan at fucking 11 o'clock at fucking Pikeville Walmart, and and I have him in the car for me, or have him in the car for another 5+ hours, but he'll keep me awake. No, this motherfucker can't sleep tonight because he's like, I'm gonna meet Gretchen tomorrow. Yeah. I'm gonna meet Taj.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna stay up all night, and then when Jonny Fairplay picks me up, I can go sleep in the car. Yeah. That's probably what's gonna happen.
Oh God, dude, that's funny. Donathan's awesome. You guys are gonna have fun. So did you tell me? So I said Michelle Fitzgerald. Who's your number?
Yes.
Who's your number 9 women?
Michelle Fitzgerald.
Okay,
and
she is too.
And my number 10 overall.
Oh, okay,
but
cool.
But not on personal opinion at all. How CBS
yes.
and Survivor look at her because of I don't even have Danny Boatwright on my list. So like that same person, same player.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
So, but I think Michelle is fresher, and like I think these are going to skew newer heavy than older just because of age and familiarity to the viewer.
Right. Oh yeah. Yep. Totally. So my number 10, this is the last and final male. This was a fun season to podcast about. This was a fun season post Survivor. This was amazing because we met this guy.
Survivor Fiji.
Not knowing this guy was the winner before when we met him. We had no idea that we were...
I patted him on the head and said, "God bless you." Maybe Survivor's not for everybody.
Yeah, and I want to say this, and this is not tooting my own horn, but when I saw the cast for David versus Goliath, I saw Nick Wilson, who's my number 10 pick. I saw that he lived not too far away in Kentucky. So I reached out to him and gave him my phone number, and we talked on the phone, and I said, "Welcome to the club, dude. I can't wait to see you play." I said, "Man, you're not very far. There's this event called Reality for Diabetes that I do here in my hometown." So I invited him, and he actually came and showed up and hung out. He couldn't take part of the festivities. He was just kind of like, we couldn't announce.
Well, he did. He was at the spaghetti dinner.
Yeah, he was at all the places, but
he was at the spaghetti, kind of in the background.
Yes, he wasn't on the flyers or anything like that.
And then for the escape room, he actually did the escape room with me and Big Tom.
Yeah.
And Sunday.
Oh, hell yeah. So Nick Wills, super kind, super nice. He came to our live Cincinnati event with his lovely fiance now, Gristle. And
Griselle.
I'm just kidding, dude. I'm just kidding.
Christ. Well, you were the nice one.
No, Griselle. She's amazing. And
yes.
They got engaged in Australia, and the Godfather Carl and his lovely wife were there, I think, probably filming it and documenting it. So Nick Wilson, great guy, dude. Because it was weird. Because I said to him, "Man, would you play again?" I think when he was in Cincinnati, dude, I asked him if he would play again. He was like, I don't know. And I'm like, and in my mind, I'm thinking, damn, dude, most everyone I ever ask, would you play again? They're like, fuck yeah. Well, I didn't know that he was the winner.
Yeah, when you already have $1 million in your bank account, you're just like,
Yeah.
kind of been there, done that.
But Nick Wilson.
Amazing Race sounds like a fun new adventure.
Yeah. But great guy. His fiance is awesome. Nick Wilson, my number 10.
Yeah, Nick Wilson is my number 10. So, I mean, I think that's a no-brainer. He is one of those guys where I feel he's in there with the big boys, and we'll see.
Yeah.
But I think he does best when his back is against the wall and he's underestimated.
Yeah. Right.
So I could see a Richard Hatch, an Ethan Zahn, and a Yul Kwan possibly looking, or maybe even a Boston Rob looking past him.
Yeah, and I could see...
That's when he's most dangerous.
I could see... Well, I know some of the guys that I have on my list are not on your list, but when I'm looking at my list, I could see... Nick could be making an alliance, dude, with... Because he's a nice guy, right? So JT is on my list. JT's a country boy. I can see Nick Wilson and JT. I could see Chris Daughtry and Nick Wilson. I could see Wendell teaming up with Nick, and quite frankly, Mike Holloway from Texas, another kind of, Southern, hillbilly kind of dude. I could see them making some crazy. I mean, imagine, and I know Holloway is not on your list, or I don't think JT was, but JT, Mike Holloway, Nick Wilson, Chris Daughtry, I could see them. I could picture it now being in a.
And
alliance.
Wendell and Nick are friends.
Yeah, and
we hung out at Hearts Reality together.
And I totally forgot because of the women on the deal too. I mean, Tina Wesson, I could see 100% aligning with Nick Wilson. So I think Nick, yes, do I think that what you're saying, he's a young guy, Survivor fan, is he going to be starstruck playing against these winners and be like a little puppy dog? Or is he going to do what you said, take the bull by the horns and dominate, dude?
Yeah.
But
I mean, go back and watch Survivor All Stars. Like Rob Cesternino was a fish out of water. He was just like, oh man, like here's the big, and they just fucking plowed through him.
Mm-hmm.
So I think everything would be completely different now.
Yeah.
So, but that he was in there with just the heavy hitters.
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm not a winner, obviously, but as a fan, if I was on, if you threw me right now, dude, in a season, if it was some wacky ass season, it's like Russell Hanson, Johnny Fairplay, and Rupert, and some of the coach, I would be like, oh fuck, like
what would I do?
Yeah, like oh god, dude, like what the fuck am I gonna do? Like that would be like
I thought it
mind blown.
sucked playing against Andrea.
Yeah. Oh, that's so funny. That's funny. But yeah, so number 10, Nick Wilson, and that's the same as Johnny Fairplay. So we had a lot of. Do you have your list written down in front? So I want to recap everybody for my list. I had Richard Hatch, Ethan Zahn, Chris Daughtry, Bob Crowley, JT, Tony Vlahos, Mike Holloway, Jeremy Collins, Wendell Holland, and Nick Wilson. Johnny, who was your 10?
My list: Richard Hatch, Ethan Zahn, Yul Kwon, Boston Rob, Cochran, Tony Vlahos, Jeremy Collins, Ben, Wendell Holland, Nick Wilson, and honorable mention, Fabio.
Well, right on. Well, you know what? I just made some check marks. So we had 6 like-minded decisions on 6 of our men lined up. Pretty cool. Sure. Shows that we don't talk about this, guys, prior to recording. Like there is no, let's compare our list. This is what it is, and this is how it's playing out. So right now, that's pretty sweet. We gave you the men. I'm going on to the 10th and final woman for season 40, Sarila Cena, winner of season 34, Survivor Game Changers. I liked watching Sarah. I know she's not a very popular player. She's a beast. So according to the women that we have to choose from, Sarah is on my list for number 10.
Officer Sarah, I had a chance to spend a lot of time with at Hearts of Reality last year. She had just completed her marathon. Did you see the marathon thing that she did?
Yes, I did. Marathons on different continents or some shit.
She did a marathon every day on every continent for 7 days straight, and the most physically demanding thing she's ever done, or to be honest, almost any human has ever done, ever.
Right.
I mean, her feet at the end are, twice as big. There's bliss. It's she was one of the few that finished. I mean, I think this competition or journey, started with, probably 100 people and, maybe 20 finished, if that. It was crazy.
That's insane, dude.
So, and preparing, she's, where's she from? I
forget.
Iowa?
I don't know.
I feel like she was trained.
I thought that's where Ben was from.
Okay.
I don't know. Anyways, let's just say she's training, and she's a bad.
Sure.
Her physique, dude. Like when she played,
one
of the most badass built guy. What I mean is there's chicks who's got super hot, sexy bodies that may not have super muscular 6-packs. But dude, Sarila Cena is a fucking badass. Her body is solid. She's an athlete and athlete.
Yes.
a la, who was that guy, that swimmer that would say athlete on our Big Brother celebrity podcast stuff. But anyway, Sarila Cena,
Ryan Lochte.
Yeah, Ryan Lochte, athlete. Yeah. She is a great athlete. But yeah, Sarila Cena, I liked watching her. And, like I said, if you got 10 women, Sarah's on the list.
Well, she was telling me, so the first leg is like Antarctica. Mm-hmm. And she's running, and she hadn't trained in temperatures that low. And so her water packs, they're frozen. Wow. She doesn't even have water.
That's crazy.
And a marathon is 26 miles, 26.2 miles.
I know.
So anyway, so she runs this, and she's like, okay, that sucked. That was the worst thing I've ever done in my entire life. So she gets on a plane, and they fly her to fucking Honduras or something, right? And so she gets on the plane and starts running. She's sunburnt within an hour and a half.
Wow.
Sunburnt.
Yeah.
And her training is 50 degrees.
Yeah.
This is neither.
Right. Yeah. Wow. That's gnarly. That's gnarly, dude. That's
so. I mean, I as far as the measure of a man or human in this instance, one of the toughest on the planet, and in addition to that, she's a dude's girl. I mean, she's just a badass chick that can talk shit with you just back and forth. I like her a lot.
Cool. Oh, I hope to meet her, man. I really do.
So I do know other survivors that have met her and found her to be a little aloof.
Yeah, right.
So, but I think she's one. I mean, I find her a little more similar to me than many would imagine. In that, I would go to the stores and stuff, and and I hated, going, hey, how are you? Hey.
Right.
Because I don't want people going, this motherfucker's saying hey because he's on fucking TV or something. Fuck him.
Right.
And that, that's how I saw it. But I had people, girls I dated or other friends come, and they're just like, when you walk in and have your head down, they think that, you think you're too good to talk to them. And I'm just like, so you can't win either way.
Yeah.
And I think that was kind of the deal when this other survivor first met her, because she was just like, she had won, and she was just like, look, I'm not trying to fucking, be like, hey, look at me, the winner.
Yeah, right. She just
was just hey, this is everybody's time, not just mine. And I think it was one of those situations.
Gotcha.
So, but in my power rankings of the 10 women, I have her 8 out of 10. I have her ahead of Sophie, who I'm not a fan of, and Michelle Fitzgerald, who I don't think they're a fan of.
Yeah.
But not a bad number.
So I'm going to go down my list, and I want to hear your list recap. So I have Tina West and Jenna Marasco, Sandra Diaz-Twine, Amber, Poverty, Sophie, Kym Spradlin, Denise Tapley, Michelle Fitzgerald, and Sarila Cena.
My list is Tina Wesson, Vesepia, Sandra Diaz-Twine, Parvati, Sophie, Kym, Denise, Natalie, Michelle, and Officer Sarah.
So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of ours are matches.
And once again, I think that 8 of these 10 will definitely be, if it's a 10-man, 10-woman cast. I mean, hold on, 1, 2, 3, 4. There's only four women that aren't getting called.
Yeah, right. Dude.
I mean, I just think that's shit.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, it's just like, hey, are you still alive? Do you want to leave your house? Mm-hmm. I mean, that's the criteria. Yeah. Do you want to leave your house?
Yeah. Well, we'll see. I mean, I like I said, dude, I would rather see a Heroes Villains again, or a Legends, or a Winners versus, Champions versus Contenders kind of thing. Sure. But we'll see if it tanks or if it's a good season. I mean, honestly, anything is probably better than Edge of Extinction right now. I don't think Edge. nothing against the cast. I just don't think it's a great season. The returning
Yeah.
players are weird to me. No offense to the returning players, but the 4 returnees, I would way rather see a fans' favorites type deal than 4 returnees. But Edge of Extinction is a whole nother topic, and Jonny will be in. Well, by the time you listen to this, Jonny,
I was in Nashville.
You were in Nashville, but
it was great. It was probably my favorite show.
Back to the Future. But hey, guys, thank you so much. This has been part 2 of Survivor Season 40 winners. Be sure to get your Fuck the Winners t-shirt at johnnyfairplay.com. You probably want to go with the black tea because lime green's fucking stupid, but Jonny, whatever. Jonny likes lime green. I mean, shit.
I do like lime green. Big fan.
Wait till you get a load of his suit. He's probably going to be wearing fucking in Nashville or something.
I didn't go. I went War Dog Sucks Eggs t-shirt and jean jacket.
Oh, you did? Well, fuck. Like I said, Back to the Future shit, man. But
yeah,
patrons.
Should I bring a cowboy hat?
No.
I mean, it's Nashville.
Well, that is true. Maybe. You never know.
Maybe I'll bring a cowboy shirt.
Hank 3 might show up. I'll tell Davey McElfresh, who's the guitar player of both my bands, who is Hank 3's band leader.
Yeah, tell him to come.
Be like, hey, Hank 3, show up. But Hank's Hank's one of those guys, apparently. I've never really hung out with Hank. I've met him a few times, but I think he just kind of sticks to himself and hangs out at his ranch and shit. But anyways, patrons, thank you. Spread the word, and tell all your friends. If you like what we're doing and you have a friend that's a Survivor fan, give us a try. And we will see you guys next time on Survivor NSFW. Cheers, everybody.